Hello and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Super Nintendo pad and the Sega Megadrive pads. I say Megadrive pads because of course there were two Sega Megadrive pads, and the one was a 3-button, one was a 6-button. So let's get on and see which one was the best and review the pads as we go along as well. So we'll start off with the Super Nintendo. Now the design of the Super Nintendo, because we're going to start with design, is pretty small. It's very kiddie-ish looking kind of control pad. These buttons here are like sweets really, but they do feel really nice. They do look a lot like sweets, but they have a really good feel to them. They're probably a little bit too small if you've got a really big adult hand. My hand's not the biggest, so it's not too bad for me. The rubber here on this button is very good as well. These are rubber, yeah, these are like a rubber feel. It's start and select and they feel really nice. The design of it, as I was talking about, is sort of shaped in a circle on both ends, which kind of, if I just demonstrate in my hand here, is perfectly fine really. You know, you can move your thumb around it and it feels really nice. It's a nice design, a bit kiddie-ish but nice design. Can't fault the design, so yeah, it's a nice design. I like the design of the Super Nintendo pad. I don't think I like it as much as the previous Nintendo. What's the NES? I think that pad was just has a retro style look to it, but this is a nice pad and I do like the design. So, is it better than the Sega Megadrive design pads? Well, let's start off with the 6-button pad for the Sega Megadrive. What was released later on in the Mega Drive's career, mainly for Street Fighter 2. So as you can see, the design is pretty much a boomerang, and it fits your hand really nice actually. You know, you can see it fits your hand pretty nice. There's nothing wrong with it, and get your hand around, the thumb around there pretty easily. So it's a nice design. It's an okay design. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a fantastic design looking pad. Basically, as I said, it looks like a boomerang really. That's what the design of it is. It's a boomerang. But it does fit your hand really nicely. So let's go to the original Sega Megadrive pad, the one that was released with the system when it first launched in the early 90s, late 80s. I think that's a fantastic looking pad. It's just like a monster kind of looking pad. It's really nice. It's really big as well, thick, much thicker than the previous two pads I showed you. So you get a real good grip on this pad, and I think it's really nice. It's a really nice looking pad. D-pad's nice as well. You get your thumb on there just as easily as you can with the other ones. So yes, that's a really nice looking pad. For design and looks, that Megadrive pad is the winner. It looks the best. It is the best looking pad I think you can find anywhere on any machine. So for design and look, the winner is the Sega Megadrive 1 Mark 1 pad. I'm going to give it, for looks and design, a 10 out of 10. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give the Super Nintendo a 7 out of 10. So back with the Super Nintendo and build quality. So the build quality on these Super Nintendo ones are really, really good. I mean, you can chuck this to the floor a couple of times and it's not going to break. They're really, really good quality pads. So if you're getting in a tempo playing a game and it's not going your way, you know, it doesn't really matter because this thing can take it. So it's really good quality, and the buttons feel really nice, as I said before. Really solid, firm, well built pad. This one really, really nice. The build quality is extremely good on a Super Nintendo pad. And to be fair, with the release of the Super Nintendo Mini, they kept exactly the same build quality on those pads as well. So this is a fantastic build quality pad. Right, go to the 6-button pad. 6-button pad is again very well built pad. The buttons feel really nice. You know, they feel solid. They feel like, you know, not going to fall off or anything. And the start button feels nice as well. The D-pad's put together nicely. It doesn't feel like it's too loose or, you know, too flimsy, or it's not in properly. So it's very well built quality. It's made from really good plastic as well, just like the Super Nintendo one over here is made from really good plastic. So yeah, I really like this pad in terms of build quality. It's really, really built well, and it's, you know, it can take some as well. This pad, build quality, there are issues on these pads, especially the Mark 1 ones. This is a Sega Mark 1 Mark 2 pad, if that makes sense, because this was a Megadrive 2 pad, what come with the Megadrive 2 in the UK, and the way you're going to know that is because it's got a red start button on it. The previous ones with the white start button on them, I had plenty of faults with those pads. The buttons kind of seized up on you pretty quick. This is not built very well. This D-pad is not, it's not very well built. It doesn't, not very well built at all. You can feel the plastic's not as good on this one as this one and this one. So the plastic build quality is not as good on these ones, and the buttons are not as good either in terms of build quality compared to the previous two pads. So for build quality on this one, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10, and I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. So if we go back and look at the scores, I think if I lost count here, we've got 17 for the Super Nintendo. We have a 17 for the Mark 1 Sega Megadrive. And what did I give this one? I gave this one a 9 and an 8. So we're talking 17. So yeah, it's 17, 17, 17 at the moment. So let's go on to how I feel and what they like to actually use. This one, I like this D-pad a lot. It feels really, really, well, it's stiff. It's a bit stiff. I mean, if you're playing Street Fighter and that, it's not ideal, but for platform games, this is perfect. An absolutely perfect pad for platform games. You're playing Donkey Kong, Super Mario, or any other platform game, Legend of Zelda. This is a very, very nice pad. And if you had this, obviously with your Super Nintendo launch, you're not going to go out and buy a third-party pad for the second player. You're going to stick it to these pads because these pads are really class. They're world class in terms of how they feel on the D-pad. Buttons feel really nice as well, and as I said, these buttons feel really nice as well. And you've got shoulder pad buttons on these as well. They're not used very much. I can't remember much games that used them. I think F-Zero might have. Mario Kart definitely did, but not much other games I can remember. Star Fox did use those buttons, but yeah, it's a nice pad. It feels nice in your hand. It's a bit small. That's the letdown for it. It's small. The buttons are small, and the D-pad's a bit small, but it does feel nice. It's a nice feeling pad, and yeah, I'll be pretty happy to play. I'm pretty happy to play games with this pad. It does feel nice. As you're playing Tetris now, it feels fine. So yeah, it's a nice pad. It feels okay. So yeah, let's go on to this one. This pad is the perfect pad. The D-pad is fantastic. It's suitable for all games, from Sonic the Hedgehog to any racing game you're going to find, to Street Fighter on the Mega Drive. It's perfect for that. And these buttons feel fantastic. They're perfectly placed. So when you're playing, they're just perfectly placed in your hand, so you get the perfect feel on this pad. It's a pleasure to play games with. It really is. I mean, when I play my Mega Drive, I'm going to tend to go for this pad because this is the best pad to use on your Sega Mega Drive. It feels fantastic. I really can't fault this. There's only one pad I would say what comes close to this, and that's the Mark II Sega Saturn pad. But this pad is fantastic to play games with. You can't beat it. Its design is perfect. It fits in your hand perfectly because it's boomerang shape. It sort of fits in your palm of your hands perfectly. So it really, really is the best pad for playing games with, and you can't find a fault for this game, for this pad when you're playing games. You just can't. It's brilliant. It's the best design pad of all time for playing games. It really is. This one, again, it's a nice pad to play games with. It's definitely better for people who've got bigger hands, and with chunkier hands, I would say, and it fits perfectly in my hand. I like the feel of it. The buttons are nice and big, so there's no way you're going to miss them if you've got a big hand, and it doesn't matter if you've got small hands neither. So yes, a really nice pad as well. I can't fault the pad. It feels really nice to play games with, as long as you're not playing Street Fighter or it's a 6-button game, or Virtual Racing or Eternal Champions or something like that. This pad is fine. If you're playing a free button game on your Sega Megadrive, this pad is a great pad to play games with as well. So I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So this one gets an 8 out of 10, giving it a 25 score in total. This one's a 10 out of 10, giving it a 27 score in total, because this is the perfect pad to play games with. And I'm going to give this one again an 8 out of 10, matching the Mega Drive Mark 1 and finishing off with a 25 score as well. So the overall winner out of this goes to the Sega Mega Drive Mark II pad. It's the ultimate pad. It feels great. It looks okay. It looks okay. It doesn't look it doesn't look as good as this one, but looks don't matter. When you're playing games, looks don't matter. This pad is just the perfect pad for your hand. It is perfect. Every single game you play, you're going to enjoy a lot more when you're playing it with this pad. So get out, if you've got a Sega Mega Drive, just search the web for these pads. I know they do cost a fair bit these days. You're talking £25 for a loose one. Box ones can go for about 40. But you know, it's worth it. It's worth paying that money because it increases your game experience massively on a Sega Megadrive. It's the perfect pad. And if you've got fighting games or Street Fighter 2, you can't really go about this pad. So it's a fantastic pad. I recommend anyone to go out and get it. And it's the overall winner today. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos. See you next time. Bye.